For anyone even remotely interested in an IT career, there's this one certification that keeps coming up, and the numbers attached to it are just staggering. We're talking about the Cisco CCNA, and the average salary for someone who gets it is apparently over Lou Went Bots and Yingbon a year. That's not just a certificate, that's a life-changing number.
It really is, and that figure tells you everything you need to know about how the industry sees it. This isn't just about proving you can plug in a router anymore. When Cisco consolidated all their specialized tracks into this one exam, the CCNA Lambda Sambelingi, it became this comprehensive test. It's basically asking, can you run the nervous system of a modern business? It's a huge pivot point in a career.
Career-defining pivot point. I like that. So it's clearly a lucrative path, but it's a massive syllabus. What exactly is inside this Ibearscher minute gauntlet that makes it so valuable?
Well, if you look at the breakdown, Cisco isn't playing around with the basics. The big three are network fundamentals, network access, and IP connectivity. Together, they make up a massive Befengeloshu of your total score. This is the bedrock of everything.
Right. So you're dealing with the physical reality of it all. The syllabus mentions everything from identifying cable issues like a duplex mismatch to understanding the core logic of how a router decides where to send a packet, the longest match rule.
Exactly. And they've really leaned into IPv now. It's not some nice-to-have future topic anymore. You are expected to be able to configure and verify IPv addresses and know the different types, like unicast and anycast, right out of the gate. The exam assumes the world is already running on it. If you can't subnet in your sleep, you're going to have a bad time.
That makes sense. It feels like they are testing for real-world troubleshooting, not just book learning.
Precisely. That's why the exam format isn't just multiple choice. They use what they call simulates and drag-and-drop questions. It's like a flight simulator for network engineers. They throw you into a broken scenario and want to see if you'll panic when a VLAN doesn't trunk properly across two switches. It's about testing operational fluency, not just memorizing facts from a textbook.
Got it. So the old school physical networking is still the absolute foundation. But it sounds like the latest syllabus adds this whole other layer of modern, almost invisible tech that probably didn't even exist in the early versions of this exam.
You've nailed it. That's where the final pieces of the puzzle come in. Security, which is Bafengesure, and automation, which is Bafengesure. This is the big shift. We're moving away from manually typing commands into a console, one device at a time.
And into things like REST-based APIs and interpreting JSON data, right? I saw that you're expected to understand tools like the Cisco DNA Center to manage an entire campus network from one dashboard. That feels like a huge leap.
It is a massive leap. They're essentially testing if you can speak the language of modern software-defined networks. Even the security section has leveled up. It's not just about setting up a firewall rule anymore. It's about understanding the northbound and southbound APIs that allow the controller to manage the entire network security posture automatically. You're part security guard and part programmer now. If you can't read a JSON file, you're becoming obsolete.
It's a lot to take in, but it's clear this certification is designed to keep you relevant as the entire industry moves towards software-defined everything. So, if we were to boil it all down, what are the absolute must-knows for someone looking at this?
I'd say there are 4 key takeaways. First, the financial prize is real. That Lou and Botanimban average salary makes it one of the most valuable certs you can get early in your career. Second, you have to dominate the big 3, network fundamentals, network access, and IP connectivity make up Bifengeloshu of the exam, so focus your study time there. Third, be ready for the format. It's not just theory. The simulations will test if you can actually do the work. And finally, you absolutely must embrace the future. You have to understand automation, interpret JSON, and get comfortable with controller-based architectures. That's what separates a modern network engineer from a relic.